Everyone, welcome to Laugh and Learn Light Language Part 5. This is becoming addictive, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
It's a lot of fun. And so I am pleased to be joined with JJ, or Tutah Speaks. And we have Karen from Starseed Awakening 1111. And I'm TarotStache. Whoop, whoop, whoop. So everybody do me the favor. Remember, for entertainment purposes only, blah, blah, blah. Like and subscribe to all of our channels. It's free. It means something. And this is being simulcast on all of our channels. So you're not going to see all of the chat. We do. We'll catch you up. So, so I do have this is an spontaneous question.
Okay.
So
I love those.
I'm going to, so Karen, Starseed Awakening 1111. How was your 1111?
My 1111 was, I'm glad you put the hand up there. My 1111 was absolutely wonderful. Some magical things happened. And yeah, I just came back from a little trip because of 1111. No, I'm just kidding. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you also, JJ. I heard you referring to them as the train tracks.
Yeah, who was that? Was it Allie? I can't remember if it was Allie or if it was Kim.
I think I don't know, because it's 1111. You were in high demand.
I was in high demand. I'm so popular. Yeah, but that was a really cool idea to have the train tracks. Oh yeah, it was Kim, medium Kim, because in the beginning, Tutah was talking about how we've already we've done the work. Our bags are packed. We've settled and cleaned the the mess that we made while we were packing, and we have our suitcases and we're at the train station. And then when I got on with Kim, she's like, "Yo, it looks like a train track." So I thought that was it was a really cool day.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I hope everyone also had a good day. If you were watching the playback, try to go back and remember, how was my Saturday 11/11? And so I did a little bit of magical work at 11/11 because it's a special day, adds power to what we're working with. So how about we say hi to some people?
Yeah.
Annie Bear is here. Hello, Annie Bear. And she said, "You got this, Karen." So Scorpio Mama is here. And Annie Bear has been very busy. 14 paintings in 5 days.
Wow.
Ooh, nice.
That's very nice. Oh, and Annie Bear said, "I told my hubby I think I'm channeling." He's like, "Oh, I guess that you could do that." What's the readout on the timer? You know, the one for the patriarch. It's coming. So, mods, please watch this guy. TarotStache. Beth Aspasia Rising is here. We have Brenda T. Steve Watts is in the house. And Fogo Pogo is here.
It's Mickey, not Steve. Just to let you know. When you see Steve, it's actually Mickey. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, Mickey. It's good to see you. Not Steve.
Not Steve.
It's all good. And Mickey said, "I'm sure I've been channeling my dad with cooking because I'm thinking up some awesome recipes." He was a chef. Doesn't surprise me.
Nice.
So, and Starseed Awakening is here. So, Hypnicity, Nalani is here.
Hello.
Rouge Remedies, good to see you. Lori Kramer, Rossi, Wayne Rich, Samantha, love it. And Michelle Krantz. I'm probably missing some people, so my apologies. Diana, also known as Goddess Diana, also known as Wonder Woman, is here. And they are not in their car, which is surprising because every time, you know. Oh, and Lori, somebody told me Beth Espazia Rising had problems with an ad blocker and doing something with YouTube. So it was frustrating. Lisa Keller, hello. And it was Kim. Fiona is here. Good to see you. Lisa Yeager. Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, so okay, lovely people. So I actually just had Jonathan Daly is here. Hi, Jonathan.
Lisa's here.
Yeah, Lisa.
Lori Alley. I love it. Okay, so many people. This is wonderful. So, light language.
Yeah.
Part 5.
Yeah. 5. One of the things that we talked about, over this has been a great process for me. I don't know about people who have watched this in the playback, but I have had some interesting discoveries because if you remember in part 1, I went, I know I don't have light language. And about halfway in, I went, oh my gosh, light language can be symbols. And, it was that, oh my gosh, it was totally awesome. Come on, work with me here.
There you go.
And it was totally mind blowing. So, and so, what are the different forms of light language?
The first time I ever heard a light language was through a friend who said she does light language in color. And I didn't understand what she was talking about. So most of her artwork is done in color. Some of it she does on the computer and some of it she does on, painting and stuff like that. So in her artwork, she actually has symbols as well. And so she'll put little symbols and sometimes you can see them and sometimes they're very, very hidden in there. So that was the first time I'd actually really had heard about it. And then, there's singing and there's dancing and there's the language itself. And it's I've never even thought about this, but they're saying someone that works just with vibration, it's the vibration, anything that has a vibration. So,
okay.
What about you, JJ? What would you add?
It's really funny because you at that last part about the vibration, they were trying to explain that to me when Gerald asked the question, and I'm like, what kind of language is this? And I was trying to figure it out, but you nailed it right at the end. It's just people who work with vibration. Yeah, it's cool.
I really like that because that goes back to what we've talked about throughout our conversations.
Yeah.
Because light language it's things that we don't necessarily experience in the traditional 3D world. We can't hear it. We can't see it because we're not tuned in. So energetically, we're not connecting in. So,
and they're asking me to say this, even though I think I I think I said it on the first episode, but they're asking me to say it again about the typewriter. And, it basically, for those of us that are a little bit older, the typewriter that just keeps typing in the same spot over and over again. And it just puts the letters on top of each other over and over. And for those of us that we can look at instead of putting the letters like this on a piece of paper like it's supposed to, it puts it on top of. And those of us were able to actually spread those letters apart and read it. And, I personally think everybody can do it with practice, and it does not have to look like anybody else's,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Sharon Sipe is here. Maretta is here. Hello. Alice L. More people are coming in to hear about light language. And I would say, okay, I think it's like art, isn't it? It's things that stir something in us that are difficult to express.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like how there's certain words in different languages, for like how like a color, and we'll just say pink here or a rosy pink, but in a different language, they'll have another way of explaining it. And so it's like that, just by visual or audible, even taste, because we have somebody cooking,
Yes.
channeling the chef. So yeah.
Well, and I'd like to go ahead.
Annie was just saying that it's whatever gives you joy.
Yeah, the painting, writing, singing, dancing, what brings you joy. Absolutely.
Along with what JJ was saying about the color, I had learned this weekend that Japanese actually have a word that describes the feeling of a bad haircut. And I'm like, oh, I need that word, but it's sort of that. It can be very deep and different and hard to explain at times.
Yeah.
Yes.
When, because of our, it's outside of what we're taught, it's outside of the norm per se. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Spirit Intuitive Tarot is here. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Yeah, and Beth said, "Wow, that's very specific." And I actually think that what is it? Inuits have how many different words for snow?
Yeah.
There's like 200 words because there's so many different variations. And oh, look. Hello, my favorite light linguists. Hey, Gerald. Leah is here. Hello.
Leah, you missed what Karen was saying about, Karen, you were saying your friend and the colors. Can you just explain that one more time? Because Leah is really interested in colors and light language.
And I'll even go a little bit further to say the reason why I saw this. Let me take this off so you can see it. I saw this part, of her tattoo. Yeah. And I said, oh my gosh, I love the dots. And I was like, I love the dots. And they were smaller on her. And I said, I would love to get that. And I said, it's the chakras, right? And then she explained, it was to remind her of light language. And she draws or paints. And then she also uses her computer to create artwork and then embeds little symbols into them. And that's how she uses colors for her light language. And I've seen some of her pieces, and, I don't have a lot of artwork that moves me like hers does. And it's very, very beautiful. So,
I love
Yeah.
that.
Thank you, Sharon, for doing that. I appreciate that.
Mhm.
So, yeah, there's a Japanese word for light through trees too.
Yeah.
Or Ebo-B. And all right. Jonathan Daly said, sounds like the idea of words for weather. Like in Mexico, there's only one word for rain, hail, snow. But in the indigenous language of the Inuit people, 25 words for snow.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, here's a question from Diana. Can the word, symbol, color, etc., that is fleeting in your own method, be something that is part of someone else's and you just get the downloads?
It's so weird. I'm having such a hard time like focusing on the words. Like I heard you say I'm reading the words, but I'm not.
I know. I'm like, can we read that again?
Going on right now. What is happening?
Yes. Can the word, symbol, color, etc., that is fleeting in your own method be something that is part of someone else's and you just get the downloads?
I got it.
I'm gonna say something. It's making me really dizzy, but I'm not sure if it's just this question or I'm so dizzy right now. But I kind of feel like we need to say some light language or something because are you already saying it or are you reading something?
Yeah, because I can't. It's like, yeah, that was kind of hard.
Yeah, let's just do some light language to clear it or connect.
You want to go?
Ja, tutita no mushtita no kama shivano ita. Pi no kama shema tia no ma. Ashtita ukatana ma shewama ewa titono mushtitano katana. Hey tana eshtitano pakiatano shtita. Panui. Atitano shtitama kia titio nanashtita. Kiana. Ashtitano e pakiano totonoshtitai. Ay. Ama tutononoshita. Yeta na. Yepa ma kutanoshita. Yeta. Ma isheta tamaku eshe epanoita. Etitanoshtitano kapana ma eshewa. Aye kana kaka. Yetita. Ushtatano kiatamashtita. Yetitana. Makutotonoshita. Pakiana. Yetanko tanashtita. Tatui tano titano kotonoshtita. Yetitana kiapanoshtitawa. Mauki. Anoka shewa. Eta.
Yeah, what she said.
They called us mushroom heads. They were like the mushroom head people, and they like even showed that we have like this soft like mushroom top head, and they were taking the spores, like the seeds of the mushroom, and they're just like, like release. It's time to like put that stuff into this this place that we walk here in this time. It was and they went to the voice, they went to like all the senses again.
Lisa, Spirit Intuitive Tarot, said, when Tutah was speaking, I clearly heard cleanse, repair, and share.
Cleanse, repair, and share. I love it.
And so Diana also said, like, it doesn't stick in my language, but I hear or see, etc., understand it, and then it never returns, and I don't recall the
meaning.
I mean,
what's very, very weird and very odd is they just gave me I don't know if this is the correct word, so I'm just going to say them: sieve and siphon. So, and then immediately what they gave me, because I'm like, okay, why'd you give me those two words? But then I said, can you put it in a different way? And they gave me the screens for gold panning. And if you've ever been gold panning, you have different kinds of screens. So they were shaking out the stuff, and all the big rocks were coming on top, and then the different screen with the different layers all the way down to the fine flakes of gold. So I think what's happening is oil painter is you're sifting and sorting, and then on one level you're able to pick it up and understand it. And that is kind of sometimes how it works is like when I speak, I especially speaking it and then it comes out in English. When I'm able to translate and say it both, I honestly don't know what I say. I don't know either one. I don't know what I say. So that's they just want you to know that you're sifting and you're picking out, and don't worry about retaining it, because sometimes it's not meant to stay. Only the flakes will stay. Okay.
Yeah. Lori says my light language changes with whatever I'm doing. I just wish I could know what I'm saying. Yeah, I get that. It would be nice to know what we're saying, but I also believe that there's a reason why we don't understand it. It's a way to, it's like to get out of the way, and it's not to. I know, like for me, I would be like, oh, I think they're going to say this word, so I'll put my 2 cents in, and I mean, I really enjoy that. I don't get the whole meaning, because it's a way for me to step out of it and let it happen.
Yeah, and so as I've been watching all of my stuff occur, what comes to me is some people they just transport small bits of information so somebody else gets it, and it could be part of what Diana's doing, because there's that sense of, how when dogs go outside, they get these burrs and all that stuff, and then they run, and then the burrs leave, and so they're planted elsewhere.
Yeah,
Like that. It's like you are simply a transport.
I love it.
So, and Diana said, "Thank you, JJ. That makes perfect sense."
Yeah.
As well. So.
Yeah.
So, and Jonathan said, I feel like knowing what we say is actually minimizing the impact of language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
because it would be coming through in a language that we understand if that's the way it was meant to be.
Yeah.
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 But then when you're talking about painting, it's so different. Like Annie right here. Annie does these amazing paintings, and then we'll get, I don't know, Annie, if it always coincides that you get the words for the poems as well as the paintings, or if it's just one or the other sometimes. But it's just so neat that when you do the painting, even though you're thinking of like where the artwork is coming from and you're channeling it, it's like the person who receives it gets what they need with their own vision. Yeah.
And Marita said, in indigenous culture, they call a conduit of spirit a hollow bone.
That actually, thank you for bringing that up, because I have a question for you two, for the two of you and the community. I've gotten several times where they talk about the bone bridge. And I'm just wondering if everybody could just see what bone bridge means to them.
I'm wondering if it's the timelines crossing or the DNA crossing. That's the image. Those are the symbols that I got, because I've seen.
Yeah, they're pouring cold water on my back. Ooh.
Okay.
Ooh.
Is that a good thing?
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay. But it's very much like it's and see, and I think this is one of those things that there's, beautiful opportunity for this experience to be described in multiple people's light language, art, music, painting, poetry, symbols. And so it just feels like it's genetics and timeline.
You know, and it makes me want to cry a little bit thinking about us as the gathering of the stories. Like we all are the gatherers of our stories.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings me into the star people aspect of this conversation, because before we went live, they had me like visually painting like blue underneath my eyes to get ready for the star family communication. So, because they have stories too, and if we have any of that stardust in us, their story is our story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, our bones carry our histories in our bones. Bone Bridge is made of stories.
Yeah.
So okay, so Karen, do you want to go? I'm like I've obviously kicked in. So
I'm still like downloading some stuff. I will say that when I heard you guys say Bone Bridge, it was very odd to me because I literally watched the bridge turn into like as if it was a body itself, and they put muscles on it and the nerves and just everything, and then immediately they brought me to bridging that gap to where we're going, you know, where we're headed. And so I was like, oh, well, you have to be that drastic about it. So
drama.
And I found it kind of odd that a little bit before my ear started doing whatever it's doing right now. And then I looked down, and a little while later, people started talking about bones in the ear. So
yeah,
I would
Brenda
have to agree with you.
Yeah, Brenda T said,
Yeah.
Dr. Google says that there is a kind of cochlear implant called the Bone Bridge. It's probably a company name, but anyway, I thought I'd throw that in there because, yeah. And
Brenda, is that your new art piece, or is that one that you've already done? It's really pretty. I love that. I love the blue people. It's really cool.
okay, I want to try to catch up on some of the cool stuff that people have said. Lori Hunsinger said, Bone Bridge, first thought to me is they are the ancient and ancestors helping us. And we have ancient history weaving us together. And Jonathan said, ladder, not letter. Oh, all right. Wayne brought up feeling it in your bones, an ancestral link. Bone Bridge being used for hearing loss. Yep. Bone Bridge, connection to our ancestors. Yep. And I'm thinking the interconnectivity of everything and everyone through DNA. So,
yeah.
And this is what Jonathan said. Hard to put into words, JJ. The Bone Bridge is showing up like a bridge ladder and DNA strands made of bones. Yeah, that's the image I got. It was very clear. It was an evolution. So, and Lori also said the Bone Bridge means human body transmitting info. Nice.
Info, like our spine is an antenna, kind of. That's what I used to get a while ago. Is our spine is actually the antenna, and that's so cool.
That's a great visual.
Yeah,
that's a great visual. And Kaylee said, first thing that came to me was the small bones in the ears. Yep, creating a bridge. So that's great. Okay.
Yep. Bogo says it's the ears.
Yep. Sal Rods is here. Hello, Sally. Good to see
you.
And recently learned that the blue skin in Indian art means they are a reincarnated being.
Cool.
I did not know that. So, Bone Bridge calling in a message, a silent sound, but thinking it loud.
Great.
That's a fun one. That's great.
That is really great.
It's a nice visual.
Mm.
So, oh gosh.
I do want to say that for those, I mean, even though we're
We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're everywhere. We're simulcasting.
We're simulcasting. If for those of you that are on my oh gosh, I can't even think. Come on, guys.
On her channel.
On my channel, that if you want to join the chat, please go to TarotStache and you can see it all. So, and that way you're not just seeing that little one, but yeah, you can join the chat.
There are currently 59 people here. Thank you very much. And hi, everybody.
Hi.
And I
Yeah, Gerald is an excellent host, Leah.
Aw.
I agree.
Well, thank you. I'm learning to accept compliments. I'm also learning that through these conversations and sharing this space with people gives me confidence in my own strengths. And I hope that is what's happening for other people. I hope people are seeing, oh, it's not just me.
Yeah.
Other people do something similar. And I think that's cool. Kaylee asked Karen, are you getting the ear popping too?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah.
Supposed to do the heart thing.
Yes. It feels like someone is jumping in my ear and there's a little bit of pressure and tickle. And then it's weird because on this side, they're having me write stuff down again. I got two things going on. And they're also telling me something we're going to talk about later. So,
yeah.
So I'm trying to do three things at once.
Leah said my left ear hurts. So,
can I ask you some questions about symbols, Gerald?
Sure.
Like when did that start happening? Do you remember like when it started? What was going on or in your spiritual journey?
It started it started probably a good 25 years ago when I first started to really study tarot. And I'd get really connected in. And when I was reading for people, I have this space that I go, and I call it my inner temple. And it was at the time I was doing some studying of a spiritual path, which talked about the different planes of existence and the ethereal plane, the mental plane, the akasha, and going up that way. So it really happened when I was reading for somebody, and suddenly I got this big scroll that showed up in front of me, and I couldn't touch it. But as I was reading, symbols would float up.
Wow.
As I would flip over a card, more symbols would show up, JJ. And I'm like, I would just open my mouth and stuff would roll out.
Yeah.
So I've done that for a good 25 years. It wasn't until recently that I'm like going, oh, I probably in the last 3 or 4 years that it's Akashic record access. So I don't know. Did I answer your question?
You really did, and it's so interesting because when you're talking about it, it's like something showed up, that you were seeing. You opened up your mouth, and it's just like that's channeling, and that's a light language. I'm like, oh, you just described how symbols are light language. That's so cool.
Well, and it was so hard. I mean, when it first happened, I was very fortunate that I was with some people who we actually enjoyed the experience of really diving deep into the cards that we were reading. And, we were calling, I'm getting some sort of a download or something like that. And And then with this group of people, we would have symbols where I would do something like this, like the progress indicator on a computer, download, and it was just like, and if it was somebody who didn't know us, it was very much somebody would just say, oh, it's Gerald, he's getting information. He's just getting information. He's downloading stuff. So
yeah.
So I've done it a lot, and through these conversations, I've come to realize, gee, it's a light language, because light language isn't just the vocal aspect.
Yeah.
For me, it's a visual, and a lot of times when I would be communicating with guides, deity, or reading the records and the symbols, I would oftentimes say, and I still say, I would go, in English, please. Or I would say, in a language that I can translate.
Cool.
So.
Yeah. And when my language came through, I also had a community that I was already practicing with. And it's so important to be able to lean into a group or be supported by a group and be like, they can catch you as a group. It's like sometimes when this stuff comes through, or if we're going through those ascension symptoms, it really helps to have people. We can all live in our minds and our spirit land. But to have the people here to catch us, that's so important.
And I would even say not just to catch us, but to go, there you go.
Yeah.
And it's that all right. It's to give us that high five when we do something.
Yeah.
It's that excitement. It's like, because some days it's hard to get out of bed. Let's say, let's be honest. Some days it's just hard to get out of bed.
Yes.
And it's when we get out of bed, we want that person to go, you got this. Good job.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, I think I have loved having the community and you guys as my friends in reference to, that door that smacks you in the face where you're like, what the heck just happened here? To just know that somebody else can understand that and can go, yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Just let it go, or hold space, or do what, and so that has been a blessing, because honestly, I would have thought I was going crazy if it wasn't for Debbie and JJ kind of explaining it to me. I really thought I had lost it. So I'm blessed. I'm blessed in that way. And I think we all are, to have the community where we can ask these questions, and no question is a dumb question. And that's what I love about the community, is that even if it doesn't make sense, someone's always there to answer it, or to say, hey, this is what you can do. So yeah. Much love to the whole community.
Yeah. And the best chatters are really bringing it. They're extremely active, and I'm loving it. So thank you very, very much. I hope I answered your question, or did I already ask that, JJ?
Sometimes. Yeah, you did ask it, and you did. Yes, absolutely answered it 100%. And then also, what I wanted to say was an oil painter that had the question of being, you hear something and then you lose it. Was that was that oil? Whoever that was, when we come together in these groups, and it's like you see somebody like Gerald who does the symbols, or you hear Karen in the Umbratu, in the language she has, and then Annie with the drawings. It's almost as if that sparks something in us, and it's just it's like you can trust yourself to be your true authentic self, because you see other people doing it.
Yeah.
So that's what I was going to say. If you don't understand something, but even being near, like if you hear the language in your dream, it's like you are getting little pieces of it, like, how the miners would do it with their, their shaky shakies.
And
Yeah.
Diana said, yes, that's me.
Yeah.
So
those shaky. It's so funny because my maiden name is Miner, Miner. So yeah. I don't, those shaky things.
shaky things. So I have to say, okay, because as you were talking, JJ, I was getting a visual, because when we do these things, I now have this collective group of symbols that show up.
Yeah.
It showed up last time, and so this is, and when you were asking that question, it's very much all of the energy around the energy exchange. It creates a force field, and it powers everything up. It's words. It's the magnetic attraction in the elemental attraction that is just loosening everything up, and instead of it being like this, it's like this all at the same time.
Nice.
So there's this there's this expansion of the atoms of existence and whatever that looks like, and so then there's this space, and more stuff happens within that space. There you go. I have no idea what I just said, and I probably will never watch the playback. So there you go, everybody.
Yeah, hope it was good.
I get it. It is hard to explain. It's like things are happening within things, and
Well, when you were talking, Gerald, what they were also showing me is like the more that, let's pretend it's magnets, the more magnets that come together, we're getting stronger for those that are vibrating at such a lower level that whatever trauma or thing that they're going through, they can't get out of the sludge.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why it's so important for us to keep supporting each other and send out that love. And sorry, they just gave me something to write.
No, I'm just like, one of these times, if we continue to do this, if people want us to, and you two are available, sometime I would love just to be able to do some readings focused on, for me, the light language aspect of it, and looking at playing with the symbols. I do various things, but I think it's one of those things that I actually think the three of us would do. We would go, okay, Gerald said this. Oh, JJ said this, or Tutah said this. Karen's saying this, and then it all makes sense.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
To somebody,
Yeah.
To somebody.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
I second that motion.
Yeah, there are a few people in the chat who've said that, and yeah.
I heard that motion.
Yeah, and it'll be good because I've never actually done it focused on that. So
yeah, I love that idea.
Okay, so Kaylee asks something. Gerald, I wonder if you'd love the new Oracle deck I came across. Gave me instant chills. Has light language symbols on the cards. Send me an email and let me know what it is.
Yeah,
because I'm curious. Oh, it's Liquid Crystal Oracle is the deck. Okay. So it's like going from flower to flower. Yeah. Gerald, like a bee going from flower to flower.
Yeah.
So, making light movies. So, okay. Karen, do you have stuff to share? We're at 45 minutes already.
What?
Are we?
No.
But
It's like crazy.
It's the cat. She's being a little turkey. Really, 45 minutes. Okay. So one of the things that I picked up on is that, you know, they, in order to go up the step, and that's, remember, they speak in analogies sometimes. In order to get up the steps, we have to be able to release and let go of things that, and I say this a lot, no longer serve you. But they had me writing down breaking false beliefs. And so that's one of the things. Are you checking your eyeballs there, JJ?
They're either it's because I just ate pizza, or I think I'm releasing energy.
But that was one of the things that came up, is breaking false beliefs. And so I'm going to throw this at JJ and see how your guides would feel about doing a meditation. And in that, how do you feel about that? How do they feel about that in reference to releasing? And it's not only breaking false beliefs, but it's also those things that are, that's a really good thing. You know, something like that. If you wanted to drop the stuff that you can't take across the bridge, you know, they're showing me things that limit us in some way, because when they were giving me what I'm going to be saying, it's because you have to concentrate on whatever it is specifically for you to allow yourself to drop those things, because you need to go up the steps per se, or the bridge, and you can't be carrying this load. So
yeah, as soon as you said that, Leah said too heavy. Yep. And hypnicity is like, the stairs, the MC Escher stairs.
Stairs.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's do this.
So
cool.
And anybody in the community too that wants to, you know, do their thing for this group little journey, you know, and Gerald too with the symbols. Tatuka, ye ta. They're like, feel the ground underneath you. Here we are on this plane. Feel the ground. Atui pao k'ma'ashe atita ye tita. Stomp your feet and feel where you are. K'ma'ashe ta amakut hanakia ye tita noshtita kya tunoshtita. And they're like, some of the people, some of the nations, the tribes, they would stomp their feet. They would do these certain movements so the earth could hear the language. Al nui ta kota. Ye tita, and these rumblings. Ye pa nui ta noishtita yewa. Ye tita noishtitawa yewa. There's this really interesting Tutah noishtitawa katana yewa. Ye titana noishtita of the rumbling. Kuka eshema. Kiatana noishtita. Ye tita. Ye pa noishtita. So imagine in front of you, you see like they're so big, like a dinosaur bones. Yatuka no shita. Can you imagine trying to pick up just one piece of a dinosaur bone? Pakutana eshtata no kapa no kapa yewa. Yetita, they're like, over time it might lighten, but it's still heavy. Kunata no shtita. Anuipa no katana shtita. Even if you were to wrap it up and use a different method of carrying, it'd be too heavy. So no matter how we wrap these false narratives, not only is the Tutah, if you think of it as weight being heavy, the Tutah it's like the frequency of that false narrative is no longer in harmony with the steps that we go forward with. And when we stomp on the earth, on the plane that we are, it's like wake up, wake up. I'm here to do some releasing. And it gives them great joy to receive this on this earthly plane. So as you're stomping and shaking, just imagine those false narratives, the false stories, the things you no longer want to be in a rut. You don't want to be in a rut and stuck. Just imagine shaking those things off onto the earth so we can be lighter as we go up this bone bridge. And they're like, yeah, look, it's raining down from us. And the earth happily accepts it. Because they're like, we don't want to hear these same stories over and over again. It's like a broken record. So please, yes, break those records that just keep going round and round. From family to family. And give a final shake, and a stomp. And just sense, are we lighter? Is our vibration better from the shaking and the stomping? It's like we've just washed our face with a warm washcloth. And they're like, just be mindful. Like, what do we hold in our heart? As we ascend the first step. And they're talking about the marrow, the nutrients, everything that's needed, for our journey will be provided. And they're like, we take the gathering of the stories that we've been talking about, the different types of channeling, communication, colors, scents, rumbles, all of it. They're like this, the lyrics, this collective song. Panutita, and we go together.
Okay. Atuwe, amatu. Recta ukt, andu, rectu arawe. On ekta fre, on ekta. Patu, acta. Uk narratus, etere, ukna asane et ishene ut ama rota eknet ish. They wanted me to say, beloveds, those of you that are round pegs into a society of square holes, rejoice, because you are part of that bone structure for the bridge. Atama esene it. So if you could just please imagine, once again, just releasing anything that your cells are holding on to, any cellular level things. Ekne esene uta ata ute. And just shake it off, like JJ said. Stomp. Take a really deep breath in and out. Do that 3 times. Breathe in and out. In, out. and shake, 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 shake. There we go. How we doing?
Lovely.
Gerald, you got it? Lovely.
Yes. I got the machine is not broken. It is just stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because again, remember all of my symbols together, when it operates, it sometimes appears like a machine. And what I'm seeing is that when each person takes time for themselves, they actually, you had mentioned, square pegs in a round hole. What happens is when people connect to their authentic self, they are actually
Mm-hmm.
twisting and turning and changing the shapes of what is going on so that these pieces fit together. And it's necessary work, and it's a little work all of the time. It's not necessarily a big enlightenment all of a sudden. It's showing up and being there and being present, because you don't need to go from this to this. You need to go from this to this to this to this, and then like this. And so it's that magic little, it's the magic box. So
Yeah.
But
Because
yeah.
if you went from this to this, they show me that you'd be fractured.
Yeah.
Oh.
You would be too, the material would be too thin. It would I don't know what they call that, but it would fractured, it would get weak. It would not be stable.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to jump on you, Karen. Sorry.
No,
perfect.
no, not at all. It was perfect. That's exactly what they were saying. It too weak, too thin.
This is the second time I've noticed it. When you're doing your singing or your language, Karen, I can hear there's like other stuff coming through too. That's not you. It's not you. I don't know if anybody else there is hearing that, but it sounds, it's like, yeah, you guys know, right? It's like you can hear other things.
I can see other things. It changes the focus on the symbols that I see that I associate with Karen.
Yeah. It's like somebody else is talking with you.
Yeah.
Well, and it's weird because it on my end, what it feels like it is undertones. Yeah. On my end, what it feels like is, no, don't make me sing. And then it just comes out.
I get such a big smile on my face because I know that's, I know which directions that you're comfortable with. And sometimes it's not that one. And I love it when it comes through because it's like, this is going to be very meaningful. Yeah.
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 So yeah, it does. And that's what it feels like is some other thing interwoven with it.
Yeah. Lori, Lori's like, I hear other things in the ocean, whales, dolphins, sounds from under the water. Lovely.
And this is so interesting for me because the two of you and many other people, you hear this stuff and it comes through audibly for you. I don't have that. And so it's very interesting because when you're describing that, there's that undertone. It's, I'm not hearing an undertone. I'm oftentimes experiencing the symbols expanding.
So cool.
It's like the, it can breathe. It gets refreshed. It's, it's like when you shuffle cards.
Yes. Yeah.
And that's download. Okay. Download. Actually, at one point, I wanted to get a progress indicator tattoo on my forearm, but I'm not a computer geek. I just love the idea of that. But it's very much the people need to be careful on, because when you riffle shuffle a deck, there's that space. What you pay attention to fills that space.
Yeah.
Oh, is that why they ask you to like think of your question? Yeah, while they're shuffling. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so very much it's that all of that space, there's energy there, and what you are thinking fits right in there. And if you're thinking challenges and difficulty and how you're not successful, then that's what you're going to get.
Wow.
But it's very much this idea of is what you put out there comes back.
Mm-hmm.
So
Gerald, you had a question, and that was,
Wayne.
Gerald, can you draw some of these symbols and do a show and tell?
I don't think I can. And I'm saying that because I don't think I'm allowed.
Oh.
Because
No.
again, I have this
Not.
weird relationship, and I have a weird relationship with the records. I can't touch them, and if I do, it's not good. I don't know what that is. So, but sorry, Wayne, I'm not trying to not do it. It's just the clear answer was and the guides are like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
Because
yeah, that reminds me, when I started, one thing to get used to spoken light language is I would record myself and listen back to it to hear, or even see what kind of hand symbols I was doing. And when I would be there like some of the stuff won't come through when I'm recording because it's not supposed to be shared. Yeah.
Perhaps doing so would place the messages in a box, so to speak, limit the interpretations. And because it is one of these. Okay, so Beth said, thought indigenous dancers stomp and crouch to be closer to the earth. European dancers such as ballet or waltz barely touch the earth. Nature disconnect and redirect to air element in our heads.
Interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
And then Beth also said, Gerald, I've had tarot answer my mind as it wandered shuffling, not the original question. Oh, yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
So it's not time yet. Things will come to me with the knowing that it is not time to share. Sometimes in the future they will come. And I've had things where I'm like going, I know something, but I'm not allowed to say it. And I hate that. I argue with my guides and the deity that I'm working with. It's like, then why the heck did you show me? If I can't say this, I don't want to know. So, and there was another one. Diana said, I have drawn the ones I've been given. I could show you mine. Perhaps that would show the magnetic pull you spoke of. I don't know.
Yeah. Share.
So, and Medium Betsy Palmer is here. Betsy is on with me tomorrow with Richie Longman Tarot. We are talking about the sense of smell.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, that's what we were doing in Bryce. It was Kim, intuitive, whatever. I don't know how to say it. But Kim, who was running the Bryce retreat, her class was about taking objects and smelling them and holding them. It was so cool. So cool. I'll tune in tomorrow and check. What time is that?
It is at 4:15 Eastern. So are you Mountain?
I'm Mountain.
So it would be 2:15.
Okay.
So 85% of our taste is smell. Yeah.
Well, I can't believe it's been an hour already. That
Oh my
blows my
gosh.
mind.
Yeah.
This has been great.
Yeah.
JJ, what do you have coming up?
Tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Pacific time, I do Reiki and a journey. And so that's just about anywhere from 30 minutes to 35, 40 minutes, where we just, Tutah comes in, takes us on a little journey, and Reiki energy is exchanged. And then on Tuesday, I do Tuesdays with Tutah with mini readings, and that's at 5 p.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Karen,
asking.
yeah, you're welcome.
Nothing. I'm gonna get. I know. Don't make me
She's
pull my
enjoying her-
bullpen out.
You're enjoying your time.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying and getting used to not. This is the second weekend that I didn't have to work, so that has been really good. And I'm gonna start stuff. But I do have a lot of. I do have some private This is private parties though that that someone sets up for me, but that's not on YouTube. But yeah, I'm just doing a few readings, and I promise I will start going back on my YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, you are with us.
Yeah, you're with us.
Exactly.
So there you go.
You guys, I have you guys. Is there a 6?
I think if we can arrange it, and maybe we'll do readings.
Yeah.
We did. Lisa Keller had a question, and I don't know if we can get to this. JJ, did you get any more info, please, on my? I guess I have a heart murmur.
Yeah.
And Tutah, you and others, please pray and heal my heart and my whole body. Karen and Gerald, what do you also get about it?
You know what I really like to think about, Lisa, is, and I'm not sure if we did that here or if that was one of the Monday journeys, is Tutah was showing us how we can visualize ourselves as these bands of light, almost like harp strings that are like, they have dimension to them. It's not just in a line, and we turn into these light strings. And when you think of these light strings, if there's any disharmony in our body, or if a heart is miscommunicating, if it's an electrical problem, a plumbing problem, or whatever, it's like just kind of using your imagination and your inner teacher to just see if there are these bands of different lights, like white and gold or whatnot. Just see if there's a color of something in there that might be disharmony. And then just chit chat with your people to see, like, what can we do about that? Can we like fling it away? Can it dissipate? I really like doing that. That's what I'm getting right now.
Mm-hmm.
I know that you're concerned with this, but my guides were like, first and foremost, be careful of the energy that you put towards this. I'm not. They didn't give me any of my signs that would concern me, overly concern me. But they did say, watch your vibration and watch the energy that you put into this. To be talking to your body, your cells, the chromosomes, they literally went like that. And to tell your body that you are strong, but it's almost like, having a heartbeat and then a little, it was like they gave me a heartbeat and then they gave me this little tiny blue, blue, blue heartbeat, but it wasn't anything that freaked me out, so I'm glad about that.
One of the things that I initially saw was I pulled a card. I had the 10 of Wands. You are concerned about this, understandably. You're working with a team to help you with it. be careful what you're filling that space with.
Oh, wow. That looks like your deck of cards being shuffled.
Yes, it does.
Yep, the cards.
That's exactly right. So definitely, well, and as Karen said, be careful what you pay attention to and what energy you put around it. Again, for entertainment purposes, as Wayne has put in, thank you.
Yeah.
But I really feel there's a message for you and paying attention to what your team is telling you and how to take care of yourself, because it may help to jumpstart something that has been stalled. So
it's a neat way to say it.
So,
and this is just a teaser of what's going to be happening on our next episode.
Yes, where we are doing light language readings. And in order to know about that, you have to like and subscribe to all of our channels because it's free. Tutah Speaks, Starseed Awakening 1111, TarotStache. Thank you both for being here. Thank you, the best chatters.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Phenomenal. And everyone take care.
Yes, and I just want to say welcome to Bar, because Bar said it was their first time here. So welcome.
Ooh,
yes.
Welcome.
And it has been great. We've had a wonderful group of people who have joined us, and everybody who's watching the playback, thank you again.
Yeah.
So all right. And we're gonna finish this up, and then we'll figure out when we can do 6. And maybe we can figure out when we do 7 as well. But
there you go.
All right. Bye, everybody.
Bye.